In an election, the people vote to decide which candidate they want. The candidate's goal is to get voters to vote for them so they get elected. To convince people to vote for them, they use 6 different campaign propaganda strategies. Today, we will identify the 6 strategies, and you will be taking a look at the 6 campaign ads to decide for yourself which strategy each ad used. Number 1. Testimonials and endorsements. A testimonial ad is when a well-known person supports a candidate by endorsing them. Number 2. Stacking the deck. To stack the deck means to include positive facts about the candidate and leaving out the negative. Number 3. Plain folks. The plain folks strategy is meant to make the candidate seem just like you or anyone else. Number 4. Negative attack ads. This is when the candidate or their staff try to make the opponent look bad by saying negative things about them. Number 5. Glittering generalities. This is when candidates use catchphrases that appeal to people's emotions but are vague and have little actual meaning. Number 6. Guilt by association or coattailing. In guilt by association, a candidate tries to make an opponent seem bad because they were associated with an unpopular event, person, or idea. In coattailing, a candidate tries to look good by claiming a relationship to a popular person, event, or idea. Which types of campaign propaganda were used in the following ads? It's time for you to decide.
We will make America great again.
So which is it? Making America Great Again is an effective slogan for Donald Trump, and it's an example of glittering generalities.
Won't have to wait for a president on the side of working families. He's from Scranton. No one has to tell him Wall Street didn't build this country. He knows who did. We're a nation that's been hit hard by this virus. But Joe Biden knows when you get knocked down, you get up off the mat. No one needs to tell Joe how hard life can hit you. Losing a wife, a daughter, a son. But he knows it's in the pain you can find purpose. To lead America, you need to understand America.
America's an idea.
What form of propaganda is being used here? From Scranton, Pennsylvania? Loved ones lost? In this ad, Joe Biden is attempting to seem just like you.
There's just no quit in America, and you're seeing that right now. Over 5 million new jobs. Exports up 41%. Home values rising. Our auto industry back. And our heroes are coming home. We're not there yet, but we've made real progress. And the last thing we should do is turn back now. Here's my plan for the next 4 years. Making education and training a national priority. Building on our manufacturing boom. Boosting American-made energy. Reducing the deficits responsibly by cutting where we can and asking the wealthy to pay a little more. And ending the war in Afghanistan so we can do some nation building here at home. That's the right path. So read my plan, compare it to Governor Romney's, and decide which is better for you. It's an honor to be your president, and I'm asking for your vote. So together, we can keep moving America forward. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Which one is it? In this Barack Obama re-election ad, he pointed out the good things that happened, but didn't mention the bad.
People assume that if I'm not a Democrat anymore, then I must be a Republican or I must be conservative. I still consider myself a liberal, but liberalism has changed, and I don't fit there anymore.
As a black kid growing up in Texas, we were taught that you had to support Democrats because Republicans were for white people, supporting the rich, and we definitely weren't rich.
Basically, our default setting is to be a Democrat.
I'm a Democrat. My parents are Democrats. I was a huge Obama supporter.
And then this bold man comes down an escalator in New York City. I couldn't come out and say it right away, but deep down inside, I knew it was going to be the first Republican that I ever voted for.
His entire campaign, Worse for All Americans, that was a turning point for me.
I think there's a political realignment that's taking place. I've always been very anti-war, and now Trump is by a mile the anti-war candidate. I've always been very much for free speech. Trump is now by a mile the more pro-free speech candidate.
What's at stake in November is pretty much everywhere you look. You either see prosperity and liberty and things that you want to preserve, or if you're a Democrat, everywhere you look, you see something you want to tear down and remake in the image of some other country that's not as successful as we are.
I'm trying to conserve our values, our Constitution, our God-given rights, right to bear arms, freedom of speech, all the things that has always made this country great.
You know, it took me a good long time to get here, but I hope that Trump wins and that we can continue with the progress that he's made and the policies that he's put into place. Let's get our economy back on track and let's be moving in the right direction.
Do you know what strategy was used? This ad would be considered a testimonial because the people in the video were endorsing Donald Trump by explaining why they were voting for him.
This is the newspaper of the Ku Klux Klan today. The front page story is Make America Great Again, with a big photo of Donald Trump.
This little light of mine.
Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
I don't know anything about white supremacy or white supremacists, so I don't know.
Trump management was charged with discriminating against African Americans and breaking federal law.
If I were starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage.
I have a great relationship with the blacks.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
The man that was, I don't know, you say roughed up, he was so obnoxious. Maybe he should have been roughed up.
Why doesn't he show his birth certificate? What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no job. 58% of your youth is unemployed.
The violence, the death, the lack of education in these inner cities, it's unsafe. You can't walk to the store and get a loaf of bread. You get shot.
Total poverty, drugs, and horrible, horrible violence. What do you have to lose?
We don't want to go back. We want to go forward.
Yes. We lean on each other because we are always stronger together.
Go vote.
Which strategy was this? This ad, endorsed by Hillary Clinton, was an attack ad on Donald Trump in 2016.
Can you imagine standing up when you're a president saying, it's not my responsibility? I take no responsibility. It's not, I mean, literally. Literally.
Those words didn't come out of our mouths while we were in office.
I don't understand his inability to get a sense of what people are going through. He just can't relate in any way.
Well, and one of the things that I have always known about you, Joe, it's the reason why I wanted you to be my vice president and the reason why you were so effective. And it all starts with being able to relate. If you can sit down with a family and see your own family in them and the struggles that you've gone through or your parents went through or your kids are going through, if you can connect those struggles to somebody else's struggles, then you're going to work hard for them. And that's always what's motivated you to get into public service.
What was the final strategy? By running an ad where Joe Biden speaks with Barack Obama about their time as president and vice president, this ad is clearly an example of coattailing. Which strategy do you think is the most effective?